I definitely recommend this sort of trip to other people because it's a really good experience to see a part of the world that you probably wouldn't get to see, but also to sort of make a difference in some people's lives and meet the local people and just sort of see how life is for them. And I found it quite a humbling experience, especially with the children and the local people, and just so sort of how happy they were and sort of content with their lives. So it's definitely sort of something to think about when you return.
Well, we've been working mainly in the school, doing different activities, drama, art, conversation and games, just trying to improve the kids' English and, you know, have fun with them and stuff. And then in the afternoon some people have been going to the Asher Centre in Athidia, which is a very small centre, working with the kids over there.
The highlight's definitely been seeing what my work here has done to influence the children here, and how much happier I've made them in the week that I've been here, because the reactions from the kids was just great. I mean, they really enjoyed us being here.
I think the most important thing I found was going to Athidia and walking around and seeing where the people there live and the conditions that they live in, and just really getting to meet them rather than just to see their houses and stuff. Once I think it's a very different story seeing it from then actually meeting the people. It just really brings it home and makes it a lot more real, and then just realising how amazing the people there are and how welcoming and how friendly they are. Despite having absolutely nothing, they're still welcoming you into their house, and I think that just seeing their love that they share is really going to stick with me.
I don't know, it's opened my eyes. I mean, before I didn't really have much of a conscience for people who, you know, were really struggling or were homeless, but after coming here and seeing how people live a lot worse, I think, than some people back home, it has really made me think, and it has changed me on an emotional level as well. So it's been fantastic.
I think I would recommend people specifically to come on this trip because it's very intimate, and it's like a family holiday, but also incorporating an experience that to be able to walk into people's homes and see firsthand how they live is something quite special, and I think anyone would benefit from that. It's just a big eye-opener, and the fact that you can do that on this trip, I think, is definitely worth coming.
I would definitely recommend people to come on a trip like this. It's been a life-changing experience. It's made me question what I value and what changes I can make to my life.
My highlight, although the weather has been so good, I wouldn't count that as a highlight. I count like meeting the children and like going back the day after and them knowing your name, them coming up to you, shaking your hand, and it happens like constantly, like every day. So I think I'm going to take that as a highlight.
When I get back to England, I'll treasure this for the rest of my life, and I'll help support them with money and that, so they can build other schools and other homes, so other people can live like they want to live.
Coming back, this is my third time coming on the trip. It's always different coming every time, and I think with the group, everyone's just bonded really well, not only with each other but also with the kids as well that I've been working with. So it's been, I mean, some points it's been really emotional, but it's just fantastic. Just being, I mean, not only being with friends that I know, but also making new friends here in Sri Lanka. So it's been yeah, it's been another one of those moments that I don't think I'll ever forget. So.
I think one of the things for me is that it made me look at it all very differently. So you think about poverty in the UK and your view of it's very different to when you're standing in the middle of it. So you've got this kind of two-dimensional view of poverty that you hear about you see reports of it on the news and you read about it in the newspaper and things like that. But when you're standing in the middle of a Thydia or you're working with the kids at the school, it's this kind of three-dimensional, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can taste it, and it's everything. To you it's a week, but to them it's everything, that's their life. So to be working with people who are living like that, knowing that you're coming from somewhere else, and to see them reacting just as you would do to those situations, so they're grinning at the same things that you're grinning about, and they're learning in the same way that we would learn French, it makes you realise how poverty is just a kind of situation. It's not about the people, they're exactly the same as you, but we could have been born into that situation, and how everyone's basically just the same.
Studying human rights is really just theoretical, and you read laws and covenants and things like that. But this has been very helpful for me, and I think it will help me to see that even in the midst of various debates about development and stuff like that, to be here, I've been able to see that actually development is progressive, and there are things you can do, but it has to be more on a progressive scale.
We can get very caught up in how to save the world you need to have millions of pounds. But I think for me one of the really impacting things has been how even the smallest gesture can have such significance to someone. The smallest act of love can be taken and can mean the world to someone. And I think that that's something which is really going to stick with me, that even the smallest kind of act of compassion, the smallest act of love, can be taken with such great gratitude and have such an impact.
When I get back home, I think it'll probably make me more grateful about things, make me think more about sort of how I live and how fortunate I am. And how to be sort of more grateful for the things that I have, because I've seen how grateful people that don't have a lot can be.
It's always in the back of your mind, and I think it makes you think that you need to do something. There's no good just sitting back and doing nothing. Something has to be done. And we're the people to do it, really. We're the young generation. We've got this opportunity. We're coming from, so we're not all from like amazing backgrounds. We're not living in mansions and having millions to donate, but we're the future. If no one's going to do it, we've got to do it.